What time is it? 6:03. Darn. Sorry about that. Oh, that's that glass that's putting off a glare. Wow. This is my new glass for Texas Department of Public Safety. Cowboy chicken. That's for all those cops, those pussy ass cops. Cowboy chicken. All their hats. Nobody could go in. Anyway, I digress. Let me get all my hellos in here. Hey, if anybody wants to go to Tatum and tell him to come on, I would love to debate him about this. You get angry for me. I get angry enough for myself. I don't need to be getting angry for other people. Angry and just to think about it. I'd go overboard and get angry. I got my bourbon and popcorn. Brooke's going to be late. Somebody diming me out. Already saying I'm going to be late. Feeding the horses. I was actually just out walking a little bit because I've been sitting behind this damn computer so much. I got behind this computer at 5:30 this morning to do that first video on, hell, I don't know. I made 4 videos today. What was the video? Oh, on the little girl. So I saw the article last night and I read it and I was like, oh my God, I got to do a video on that first thing in the morning. So at 5:30, I came up here and did that. After I was finished editing, I posted it like at 9:30. Then I did part 1 of the interview. Then I did part 2 of the interview. Then I uploaded them and they were each an hour. And then I did an hour on a Tatum video and watching his video. So I did a response for an hour to that. And people are commenting, Tatum's on Instagram. He's live now. I'm like, all right. So everybody go comment on Tate if he's still alive. Get your ass over here and come on. There's a lot of people that are pissed off at him. I ain't mad at him. I mean, I watched this video and I unsubscribed from him. He was really angering me. Yeah, see, I didn't get angry with him because, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. He just seems like a decent guy to me. So, although I think he's misinformed and he doesn't get it. But sometimes when you're the only, like, expert in a room, you get a little bit of a Superman or complex to where either you don't want to be questioned or you don't think that anybody else understands it, etc. And experts do that all the time. Cop experts do it. You know, the defense attorney starts job. They don't know what they're talking about. The DA don't know what he's talking about. I know more about my subject matter when I'm testifying as expert. But it doesn't mean I'm the smartest guy on this subject. There's always people that know more. So sometimes when you're doing this, and that's what I think cops right now, when you got everybody just kissing your ass, telling you how great you are all the time, you start believing that shit. And then when somebody tells you you're not as great as you think you are, all of a sudden your world is popped. So let's see. I saw Tatum pop up here. Tatum is very pro-cop. He is pro-cop. But there's a difference between being pro-cop and supporting bad cops blindly. I mean, that's I don't know. The only video I watched from him is the one I did the response to, and it took me an hour to get through it because I was just, everything he said, I was kind of like giving a point counterpoint. So when he made a point, I'd stop it and go, here's what I think he said, here's what I think he means, here's where I agree, and here's where I disagree, and here's why I disagree. And I think that's an education process to get people to critically think. It's easy for me to tell you what to think. It's easy for me to tell you that everybody's wrong and I'm right, and believe me. That's easy. What's harder is to actually educate someone to where they have the facts and you can articulate it in a way that they can reach the same conclusion as you, not because you told them they had to believe you, but because they critically thought it out, evaluated it, and they come to the same conclusion. And if you're reasonable, I think reasonable people will usually reach the same conclusion as you. Let's see. He wears that blue line too close to the chest. I got to admit, he was pretty protective of him. Hey, Rick, you stopped the press conference. Reporter asked the stage. Oh, what was the stage question? I did stop it. I couldn't watch all the way through because he annoyed me. I'm here for Rick. Tatum always sides with the cops. Well, I mean, look, and I'm not saying that Tatum is a bad guy and he's just going for views. He's got 1 million subs. Obviously, people like what he has to say, and a lot of people support him, which is okay. It doesn't make him right. Remember, Hitler was elected by popular vote. So was Biden. Really popular vote for Biden. So just because you're popular don't mean that you're right. And just because you're unpopular don't mean you're wrong. But, let's see. Hope all went well. Show yourself, taint. Dude, I had so many comments. I normally don't go to people's video and trash them because even on my horse channel, it's like, you got to review this person. They're so bad. And you got to see what they did to this horse. They're so bad. You need to call this person out. They're really bad. And they want me to take all the heat to go and call these people out. And I don't mind calling people out, but I just can't make my channel to be about you're wrong and you're wrong and you do it wrong, you do it wrong, and I'm right and I know everything. I just don't want it to be like that. So I have to pick and choose when people tell me. But on this Tatum video, shit, it was like I had no idea I had that many people that watched me that watched him. I mean, I figured, people that bitch about him being a cop lover, I figured they would probably shy away from me because I'm not. So they wouldn't watch me, they would watch him. But I had quite a few people that I was surprised. Dude, you got to watch him. He's out of control. He's bad. He's this. I was like, holy shit. Like the first 5 or 6, I was like, all right, he must have hit a nerve on somebody. Then like 10 or 12, I was like, what the fuck? This is still going on? Then I got up this morning and there was still a bunch of comments. Dude, man, I unsubscribed from Tatum. Now, I'm not a big kind of unsubscribe because you dislike what somebody says. I mean, I say some things that are controversial and that will piss people off. I have Catholics unsubscribing to me because I talk about the freaking priests. I got firemen unsubscribing to me because I talk about firemen. I got cops unsubscribing because I talk about cops. So the people that want to unsubscribe because you just disagree with them, I mean, they don't want to learn or they don't want to hear the other side or they just may not like you. I mean, you don't have to subscribe. I would hope you would want to come here because you either enjoy it or you get something out of it or we're like-minded or I give you something to use to convince other people. Or you like some things and not everything. But, I mean, it's a give and take. But, I mean, there was a lot of people that was like, I unsubscribed from him. I can't take him. And I'm like, damn, was the video. And I didn't think the video was that bad, to be honest. I didn't agree with it. And a lot of people are probably going to think I trashed him. But I'm Catholic. Maybe you missed all my Catholic priest freaking child molesting videos. But anyway, I digress. The problem with Tatum is that he thinks he needs to defend cops from all the hate instead of calling it. I will agree with that a little bit. And he even told me when he talked to me, he came on live one time before, and he said he just felt like he had to push back against the narrative that cops are bad, cops are wrong, cops are this, cops are that. And I told him, it's funny because I kind of feel like I'm doing that. I'm pushing back the narrative. Cops are great. Cops are heroes. Cops are brave. Cops are perfect. And it's kind of funny that we both feel like we're pushing against the mainstream, belief. One of us has to be wrong. Either more people think all cops are right and I'm wrong, or a whole bunch of people think all cops are bad and he's wrong. So, but we both can't be right if we're pushing against what we perceive as the narrative. To me, cops get way too many passes. They're way overrated, and people don't call them out, and they're not held accountable. To him, he thinks they're held accountable too much. They're not cutting any slack. They're freaking, it's not fair, and he's got to defend them. I think I got to defend the pesky citizens from the tyrannical cops. He thinks he's got to defend the tyrannical cops from the pesky citizens. So we're kind of on opposite ends there, but let's see. Tatum is wrong on this one. Well, I mean, when you watch my video, I guess you can decide. I did watch both, but not anymore. Damn. Hey, Rick, a little late. Yep, you're late. I'm right about everything. Just ask me. Yeah, What is that? Someone said you were conceited. I'm not conceited. Conceitedness is a fault, and I have no faults. All right, let's see. This is the hardest question. How are you and the officers feeling today? Reporters asked that. Really? Yeah, somebody commented that there are actual citizens going to the police department's website and thanking them. Look, if you're thanking cops after they tied down, tased, pepper sprayed, and handcuffed parents trying to get to their kids who were locked in a room with a mass murderer and a gun, while 18 cops stand out in the hallway, and you're worried about how they feel, I mean, I don't get it. I do not freaking get it whatsoever. Must be about Tatum. I normally like him, but his shooting video, I thought he was way off. His shooting video. I don't know what his shooting video is. Are you talking about the school shooting? Hola, pistoleros. Hey, Blue Unicorn. I think hola means hello, right? Pistoleros is gun people. He swallows the boot. See, I mean, when we start labeling him and calling people names, because that's what they tell me, you know, you're a cop hater. A cop slept with your wife. You were never a real cop. You must not be a real cop or you wouldn't do that. Why do you hate cops? What did they do to you? You must have got a ticket. I mean, there's just all these, I just call like non-qualifiers that they try to tell people about. You know, it's kind of like telling a parent, hey, your kid's out of control. Don't tell me how to raise my kid. I'm a parent of my kid. He's a good kid. Don't tell me. I mean, I've dealt with that as a cop for years. I mean, it just, you can't tell a parent anything about their kid because their kid's always freaking perfect, you know, but that's when you attack. Bongino was with Rick. No shit. Because Bongino's kind of pro-cop. I would almost say, from listening to Bongino and Tatum, that Bongino was more pro-cop than Tatum. I am really shocked if he thinks the cops are cowards. Good for him. I mean, they are. And I think any reasonable cop would see that. Any meat-eater cop. Any cop that knows you ain't fucking telling me not to go in when their kid's getting shot. You need to get the fuck out of the way. I'll run your ass over. I just, any cop that's a meat eater, that's a man, just is not going to not go in when cops are getting, or kids are getting killed. They just wouldn't do it. Rick, you can't call them pussies. It was hard. Shut up. I've been thinking about to punish Giovanni, and I think Roman tradition, I don't know what that is. Behind all the, okay, so this is something that's really interesting. I have so many comments that this is a false flag. Now, look, I've looked up the title false flag, and it's the narrative. And you know what? Let me look that up right freaking now. So, because everybody wants to define what a false flag is. And I'm like, look, all right. So let's look up false flag. See what the definition is. Oh, shit. I got a right definition? Come on. False flag definition. A hostile or harmful action. Let me make this bigger for you guys. Hostile or harmful action, such as an attack that is designed to look like it was perpetrated by someone other than the person or group responsible. Okay? So when I say a false flag, people think that government planned this and they do it. I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't think government can keep a fucking secret about anything. I don't think you can get 5 people to agree on anything. I've worked in government for too long. There is no way that you can get 10, 15, 20 government employees to agree on something in a whole and agree to keep it a secret and not speak out or say that they don't like it or it's wrong or something. You just can't do it. So for anybody that what the hell are you doing? Popping up on my freaking shit. Get out of here. So false flag. Oh shit, now I stopped sharing. Piece of shit. Damn thing screwed me up. A hostile action by a person or group responsible. In the case you didn't know, a false flag is an incident that is designed to deceive people into thinking it was actually carried out by someone else. See, so this is kind of what I think people, when they say false flag, what I'm thinking. You're trying to tell me that the government killed kids, faked that they killed kids, got the ambulance people, the fire people, the police, the school teachers, the parents, and the cops all to go along with this big lie to fool us. And to me, that's just so freaking unreasonable. It just doesn't happen. Now, does government try to morph what happened and blame the guns and making it? Sure. But that's not really what I call a false flag. That's just government being government. But for somebody to think, and I have a lot of people, I'm kind of surprised, man, because I don't think I have like a crazy audience and a crazy following. But all these people, the people that follow me that are like, everything's the Jews' fault. Everything is freaking a false flag and it's all fake and I'm duped. What's the other thing that I get called out about a lot? The flat earthers, those people that have these really outlandish with no proof beliefs, and all they do is run around and tell everybody how stupid they are because they don't see it. But the smart people that are telling us, they're the only ones that get it. To me, that doesn't fly. But whatever. I mean, you can believe what you want. I don't think government planned this. Do I think government may have known things and they didn't act like they should? Yeah. Do I think government's incompetent and they miss a lot of shit? Yeah. Do I think sometimes they are so incompetent that it looks like it was planned because nobody could be that incompetent? Yes. Do I think the government got everybody together and they planned to keep it a secret? Nobody can tell anybody. And we got all these fake and actors. And I got people posting there was no kids dead. The girl that was interviewed, it was lying. It was all made up. It's not true, Rick. I can't believe you fell for it. And I'm just like, really, people? I mean, I've been around for a while, and I'm not saying I can't fall for shit. I can be duped. But every time I go against this false flag, suddenly I'm an idiot and I got duped. All right, whatever. The earth is not flat, it's simulation. we go. There we go. Main problem with cops was Ramos was armed. They only like to shoot on. That is true. And in Tatum's video, that kind of bugged me is he was big into they had rifles and the poor cops only had pistols. I haven't heard that yet. I know when there was 19 people in the hallway, they all had long guns. There is a difference between an offensive weapon and a defensive weapon. Offense means you're going after a goal, you're going forward. So an offensive weapon is for hunting. If I know I'm going after somebody, I want an offensive weapon, which is a rifle. A long gun is offensive. It's for hunting. A pistol is a defensive. It's small. It's not real good at long ranges. You're not going to be able to hunt real well unless they're really close. But you may be able to keep something, a threat or someone, off you with a pistol. But if you want to go after them, you want to get a rifle. If more deadly, longer range, more accurate. So if you're going in on a SWAT operation or any type of entry against an armed person, you probably want to have a long gun because it's an offensive weapon. Shotgun, rifle, anything. So the fact that the cops, that they're saying the cops that first engaged him only had pistols, that don't mean shit to me. I don't care. Big deal. So what? I went everywhere without a pistol. I didn't carry a long gun all the time. I mean, if I got out and I knew there was a weapon involved, armed robbery, something like that, and I thought I was confronting a dude or a gun had a gun, or a cop says, one at gunpoint, I need backup, and I backed him up, and he had his pistol out, I'd grab a rifle. I'd come out with a rifle. We've already got a guy with a gun. He's got him at gunpoint. Then I'd bring out a rifle. A lot of times we just have our pistols. We don't carry around rifles all the time. So, but in this case, you're entering on a guy that's killing people and that's armed. I can almost guarantee you all. I can't even barely say it. All 18 or 19 armed cops with bulletproof vests and backup in the hallway that didn't go in for an hour and waited for a SWAT team, I would almost bet they all had long guns. Okay? Just a guess. But I kind of don't buy that the kid covered herself in blood. Doesn't sound like a kid. I don't know. A lot of people were talking about The Walking Dead. They did that a lot. And The Walking Dead was a popular show, and I love that show. And I've watched the complete series several times. I think it's a great tactical show. So that kid had to learn or see that somewhere. Now, I don't know where, whether it's a documentary on war, whether it was The Walking Dead, whether it was another TV show, whether she had, a crazy Uncle Rick, that told her, hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive, whatever it takes. Who cares? You got to cut a freaking dead animal open, climb inside and close it on you to let the enemy pass, then climb inside the dead animal. I mean, I don't know. But that kid was freaking thinking. And that was very, very smart. Not only was it smart, her ability at 11 to process it in the middle of chaos is just freaking amazing to me. I mean, I know cops that can't do that. I mean, I told you stories of crazy shit. That one male cop in UC Davis pulled over 5 dudes and they got out of the car and go, man, we're going to whip your ass. You better get the fuck out of here. And he got back in his car and left. And then they briefed us the next day at the briefing for shit going on. Hey, UC Davis comes up and goes, hey, we're looking for a white van with 5 black males and blah, blah. He kind of threatened one of our officers. What do you mean threatened one of your officers? Why didn't you arrest him? Well, the officer pulled him over and they got out and kind of threatened that they were going to beat him up. So the officer just left. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm in here with how many detectives? 2, 4, 6, maybe 15 to 20 detectives. And we're all sitting at this big table and we're sharing our cases. It's a tri-county. So the 3 counties that connected, all the investigators, sheriff, DA, police, would come to this and we would share cases that we thought had multi-pronged across the counties. Every once in a while, it'd be like, man, I'm working this case, blah, blah. I'm looking for this dude. Hey, I got a case on him. He's freaking dating so-and-so, and she's a parolee at large, and that's her boyfriend. And I'm looking for, so our cases would connect. And that's why we had these meetings. So we're sitting in here, UC Davis talks about these guys leaving this car after he got, and all the other cops, they didn't want to make UC Davis look like pussies, even though, and it might have been Davis. There's Davis police and there's UC Davis police. They're both pussies. Davis police has the little 4-foot midget guy that works for him, that his baton hits the curb every time he steps up on a curb. And he is a freaking little anal, tyrannical, tough guy, small guy image. And he's only freaking 4 foot. Like I said, every time he gets his baton out of the car at the jail, his feet hang out the back as he's leaning in the trunk. But anyway, I digress. Davis or UC Davis are both pussy cops. I mean, they're freaking weak. They have no tactics. They have no crime. They don't go to a lot of shit. Any crime that we go there, if we were assisting or get involved there, we would have to take the lead. So, I mean, they would send their guys to me for FTO, even though I wasn't in their agency, because on FTO, you have to be signed off on certain things. So when I was in auto theft, they had to be signed off on auto theft. Instead of their FTO studying and learning and trying to do something and teach them auto theft, they'd say, hey, man, would you take our guy for auto theft and sign him off? And I go, okay. So I'd bring him with me and I'd take him out and we'd go get a stolen or two. We'd get in a couple chases or whatever. I'd talk to him, show him we'd make a few stops on stolen vehicles. And then I'd sign him off the internet saying he understood stolen vehicles and he had some experience. And then he could move on to his next thing. He's got to do a burglary, got to do whatever. So FTO was field training. So anyway, when we're sitting in this freaking room and this guy says that, all the other cops don't want to call out Davis or UC Davis for being pussies. They're kind of like, we're all on the same team. We're team players. We have to get along. We shouldn't talk about each other. Well, fucking me. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, are you serious? I said, a guy pulled him over. They said they were going to beat his ass. He didn't call for cover. He didn't draw his gun. He didn't go after him. He just got in his car and left. And the cop, all the other detectives were like, fucking Gore just went off. And then I was shocked. I was like, I go, dude, you realize that when one of us pull those same guys over, it's going to make it worse. They're going to think they can do that, and we're going to have to escalate higher in order to teach them you can't fucking do that. And they're like, man, look, I'm just telling you what happened. He did it, and we thought we'd bring it. And of course, because I'm kind of, even though I wasn't trying to intimidate them, I'm a little intimidating to pussies. They kind of get weaselly. So I think he kind of backed down. Hey, man, we were just told to pass this on. We're not saying it's right or whatever. We're just, if you see this white van, just officer safety, be aware. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? I turned to my partner. He's kicking me on the leg, shaking his head. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, my God. Anyway, how the hell did I get on that? Oh, So this guy is saying all the blood, he doesn't believe it. I don't know. The kid's daughter or mom was in the room when the kid was being interviewed. So we have the kid, the kid's mom, and the CNN reporter. If the CNN reporter made up shit, I think the mom would probably be pissed. And she might even have a suit against CNN, and they probably wouldn't do that. So for me, just kind of thinking this out, could this be fake? Do you think CNN did that? I don't believe it. Could she have misspoke a little bit, or maybe changed the facts a little bit, or added a little fluctuation in the kid, or she got nervous with shit? I don't see the point. Why? And again, a lot of times when people make these accusations, I'm kind of like, what's the point? Okay, so here's the point that people are going to say. Well, CNN just wants views. Really? You're gonna interview a child that was in there that survived, and you're gonna make up lies that she rubbed blood on her just to get a few views? To me, that's not reasonable. I just don't believe that. I don't trust the media. I don't like them, and I don't put much past them. But I don't think they would do that. Okay? I also don't think 18 cops with fucking guns would stand outside while kids are getting killed, and I was wrong about that. So I may be wrong about this. Somebody sent me some of these little Werther's things, and they're pretty good. And when I suck on something during my lives, I like to read the comments of the little freaking crybabies that come here. You were sucking and smacking, and you talk with candy in your mouth, and you shut up, you freaking pansy ass, no crybaby. All right, Texas Rangers need to take notes from the lady in West Virginia. Is that the one that shot the dude with a gun? I pulled up that somebody made a comment. Some guy pulls out a freaking gun at a wedding or some birthday party, starts shooting, and some woman shoots him and kills him. But they didn't say, it says she pulled a pistol. They didn't say she was a CCW. They didn't say she was an off-duty cop. They didn't say she was security. The article is pretty freaking weak. So I don't know much about that one. I saw one turd lied about losing a kid. I don't know about that one. Kentucky gun range or Syria attack, mainstream media. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. I love Rick Swaney's voice. CNN has repeatedly acted unreasonable. CNN is a bullshit network. But you know what? Man, I hate to say it because I don't like them. And I call them the crime news network and the criminal news network. They're fucking lying, okay? But I must admit, in the last couple of months, they have seemed to have been more fair. Now, unfortunately, they were so unfair before. Being a little more fair, they're still freaking far left of center. But they do appear better than they did 6 months ago. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Doesn't mean I believe them. I don't believe anybody with one. I want to have 3 or 4. The problem is now the government sends out these fucking press releases and every newspaper prints it as it is. You can read 5 different newspapers and they all say the exact same thing. Didn't used to be that way. Used to be each individual had their own reporters and they got their own thing and they wrote it up in their own words and you could tell it was individualized and you got better information. Now, they don't send reporters out. They just wait for the government to tell them what happened and then they print it. Bullshit. Good cops do no harm. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Well, we all want to believe that we're right. Nobody wants to believe they're a dumbass. Nobody wants to believe that everything I believe in is stupid, dumb, and wrong. Because I wouldn't believe that. So this cognitive dissonance is kind of, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I didn't believe what I believed, why wouldn't I think I was right? Why would I believe something and think I'm wrong? Smith Mudjack. She literally said Walking Dead. Right. No, she literally. Did she really? I didn't hear that. CNN can't risk another big lawsuit. I don't know about that. They've been fucking doing fine. Rick, you are a little naive, but I love you anyway. Oh shit! No, I'm a dumbass. Christy thinks I'm a dumb. See, that was a nice sly insult. Those pants really look nice, but have you put on weight? I was complimenting on your pants. I'm sorry. See, you are a little naive. You're a dumbass, but I still love you. Bless your heart, Christy. Ain't that sweet? Bless her little heart. Why does a boomer always fall for this shit on CNN? Oh, geez. Here we go. Now, see, that's another thing. And that kind of, I don't like that term boomer because the people that use it, it's derogatory. It's a way of saying that I'm old, uninformed, and my opinion doesn't count because I'm old and uninformed and I'm stupid and I'm not smart enough to realize the truth. So this boomer is a incited insult. I don't really like the term. And if somebody uses it a lot, I just usually block them because I'm just like, you're not going to sit here and try to insult me and show me how smart you are. Whatever. I mean, it's got to be derogatory. What he said, this isn't, I mean, he just used the term boomer, but two different men claiming to be the dad of the same girl victim. I don't know about that. Game of Thrones. Susan Stratton changed screen name. Who's that? I'm going to send a point stuffed letter animal to put in your what? A point setter stuffed animal. Oh, really? What's happening? There was a victim that stabbed her assailant in the eye and killed him. She learned it from good for her. Good. I've told people, man, The Walking Dead is a must-watch video or series if you want to learn tactics on what's going to happen when shit hits the fan. Take out the zombie. Everything in that movie is pretty freaking accurate. Predators, gangs, taking shit that you have. You can't trust anybody. Even if you let someone in new that you think you can trust, he's probably going to steal or turn on you or bring in a group to take your shit. He may be working with another group. Everything they do in that Walking Dead, other than the zombies, is shit hit the fan scenario. Rick sees something shiny. I do kind of get distracted because if I think about a topic, it provokes a subject matter that I may have knowledge about, so I share it. I mean, that's kind of what I do. Rick's haircut's bugging me like hell. What kind of haircut did I get? Did I get a haircut? I didn't even cut my damn hair. Now I'm getting shit for cutting my hair, and I haven't even cut my hair. I'm just kind of sweating because it's freaking hot, and I just came from outside, and maybe it looks like I got a haircut. Now I got somebody now I have no credibility because I got a bad haircut. I'm telling you, man, on YouTube, you can't do shit without somebody questioning whether you're true, lying, or whatever because of anything. I mean, I saw Rick pick his nose. I didn't pick my nose. I rubbed my nose. No, man, you picked it. I saw it. Okay, whatever. Swallowed their gum. 666 watching when I came. 714 is here. 3 pictures of the kids' victims put through photo forensics that found CGI and non-CGI. Those kids are adults now from the pictures. Belinda, are you serious? People, look, I've been duped before. Please tell me that the majority of my viewers don't think that this is all planned by the government. There is no dead kids and all the pictures are faked. I mean, just please tell. I mean, I would almost shut down my channel. If 100% of my viewers said, Rick, you are a complete fucking idiot. This is absolutely fake. And all those people are still alive. And this is all a big scam. And you're too stupid. I'm serious. I might just go. That's it. I'm out. I mean, if 100% of my viewers thought that, I'd be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Sorry, Belinda. I'm not with you on that. You could be right. Rick always stays on point. Whatever. Motherfucking cracking it. Why would anyone want to be a cop today? Oh, I know. Why would you? Because it's easy. Because you can be a coward. Because you get to carry a gun. Because it's got good benefits. Because they don't hold you any standard. You get to ride around, eat donuts, and blame everyone else for your mistakes. I mean, it's not really that bad of a job if you're a lazy, incompetent idiot. It's a government job with good benefits and retirement. There's plenty of ignorant people that would love a good, easy job. Rick, is it worth becoming a cop now? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure how long our government's going to last. I mean, it may last another 100 years and I'll be dead and people be like, that fucking Rick was full of shit. 100 years ago, he said, the end is near. We're going to have a revolution. The country can't last. That was 100 years ago. Whatever. I mean, maybe it's just, you know, it always looks worse when you're looking at it, but who knows? They do have an IQ test, required a low IQ. That's so bullshit. That is such a rumor because one agency said you score too high. People have been quoting that forever, that you have to be dumb to be a cop. Look, there are some jobs that they know that it takes this much of an area to work. And if you're way above that, you're going to get bored. It would be kind of like having a college physics professor who's got degrees from MIT and say, we want to hire you to teach third grade math. The guy would be like, are you fucking kidding me? I'd be bored shitless. I can't teach third grade math. I'm fucking got a degree from MIT. I'm fucking a physics. Are you kidding me? So in some small towns, they have found that if we hire people with degrees or with the ability to go find another job, we will spend money and invest in them, and then they will move to a bigger agency because they have experience, and they just use us as a stepping stone, and it costs us money. So in order to prevent that, they will have their tests and things evaluated to where, look, we're looking for people in this area for this city, so we don't hire overqualified. They get bored, they leave to another agency. And somehow, out of that, you have every post I see, you have to be dumb to be a cop. They've even got it. Here's any application. You can't have an IQ over so-and-so. That's how you give misinformation. Better Bloody Alice. What? Inner Aztec. What the hell does that mean? Pigs in person. I was blown away by their thinking. A little girl who used blood around her to appear to be sick. Yeah, that was her little friend. I just thought that not only did she rub blood on her, these two little kids in the middle of a freaking shooting climbed over dead bodies to get the teacher's phone. Then was able to call and actually talk and communicate. Probably communicate better than most kids that fucking graduate high school now that can't put a complete sentence. All they can do is text, yeah, YK, yeah, okay, BRB, JK. You know, all they can do is talk in freaking letters. This kid probably communicated better than all of them to dispatch. I mean, if that story came out to be totally fake and they wait up, I mean, does that make me a bad guy? Because it seems reasonable that what happened and that somebody made that up and put it out. I mean, people can make up shit. You don't know. That's where it comes into credibility. How do you believe? Why would they do that? What's the motive? Is there anything that backs it up? Inner Aztec. I'm not sure what that means. That's the second person that said it. YouTube has good channel. Who does all this and why? Rick, you should start collecting donations for chalk, then send it to the governor. They have a next time. I was thinking of a funny video on how to do a funny video, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and say, this is how real cops and real men respond to kids getting killed. And I was going to run forward with my AR or AK, firing it, running toward the danger. And then I was going to say, this is how Texas cops do it. And I was going to run away and have donuts dropping out my ass on the ground as I'm running away with my gun. See, I don't have all this planning and technical shit, so I can't make it cut and look real. But people who's got all the skill, man, that would be freaking hilarious. Anyway, I think it'd be funny. Let me get down on my comments. I'm getting behind on my comments here. It means that she is an Aztec and was ritually smearing. Oh, okay. I got it. Now I get it. Thanks for explaining that. The DOD paid for this die-off right now. So why would they induce or create a setup with these facts for gun grabs? Look, the government will always take advantage of any crisis to gain power and instill freedoms. They did it with COVID. They did it with 9/11. They're going to do it with this incident. They do it with every gun shooting incident. Anytime the government sees an opening to monopolize or to exploit to get what they want, they will do it. I mean, I don't, if somebody broke into a gun store and stole 50 guns and then went out and robbed a bank, they would say, this is why gun stores shouldn't be there. Gun stores should be federally controlled. We should have all gun stores and post offices so we can control them and lock them up. I mean, it would just, if government can figure out a way to get power, steal freedoms, gain control, and make the citizens more dependent on them, they will always do it. Now, to me, that's reasonable. The fact that you think government is sitting around, okay, let's see, we need to have a mass shooting. We'll say 19 kids die. We'll get the parents and we'll get the cops to do it. And then we'll have the cops fuck it up so the people will hate the cops. You think government wants them hating the cops? They're scared if the people get fed up with the cops. They're scared if people see the cops as they really are. Government thugs, enforcers, and tax collectors. They're scared about that. Why would they set up, if they were in charge of this event, why would they do the event to make the cops look bad? It's just so unreasonable to me. Yeah, make more funny videos. More boomers are patriots and wide awake. Well, that's true for patriots. I wish we would play some video games. I don't play video games much. Last video I gamed, I can't remember what it was. The last game that I really liked was called Star Siege. Most of you will never even heard of it. I don't know if you can find it. It's still on the internet. It came on a disc, and you put it in, and then you go in this little room where eight or 10 people, and you have teams, and it's like capture the flag. So you pick your vehicle, you pick your weapons, and one guy on your team defends the flag. Another guy helps him defend the flag, and then you have one guy that's got a little be fast thing that goes and tries to steal their flag. And when you steal the flag, you've got to run it back to your home base without getting shot. So I used to play that game all. I love that freaking game. It was called Star Siege. After that, what did I play that I kind of liked? F-117 Cell Fighter. It gave you little missions, and you had to go out, and you would get attacked by SAMs and different things, and your missions would be like 2 hours. And you have to go really slow to reduce your radar signature. And you'd have to, there was all kind of things that you have to do and change your waypoints and go around, and you would get warnings, and you'd have to deflect, and every once in a while a plane would stumble across you and you get in a fight, and then everybody knew where you were at and you couldn't complete your mission. That was a pretty good one. I like that one. Modern cops, organization, are very average intelligent. There are more stupid cops than smart cops. That's a fact. I think you could say that with government as a whole. When you lower standards and you start hiring people because of what color they are, what bathroom they use, you're going to dumb down the public. Not only are cops dumber, but kids graduating high school are dumber. Teachers teaching high school are dumber. People graduating college are dumber. So to just make it a cop thing, to me, takes a little out of context. Isn't really. Rick, that cologne you put in your hair makes it. Do I smell good? Hey, ladies. Who the hell's shooting out there? Probably that same dude that shoots that freaking cannon every Saturday or Sunday. All right. American woman, I'm afraid you're right. What? What is Rick? What if Rick is assuming, hey, yeah, no shit. What if I'm really just a robot? What if I'm really just a government robot sent here to fool all you people into thinking I don't like the government, when in fact, as a robot, I really like the government? What about that? Ooh, we're getting deep now. MIT may not be able to teach third graders their math because 1 + 1 may not equal 2. That little girl hero. That little girl is so, I mean, I would love, I wish she was closer, because I would love for her to come visit Buddy. I mean, most little girls just love Buddy. He nibbles, they give him carrots, he likes apples, he lets them pet him, he likes to be petted. I had that one little girl at one place, she loved to come out and paint his toenails. So I had some hoof conditioner. and it has a big brush, and you paint it on the hoof. If they're dried and cracked sometimes, and when it gets really dry weather, you paint that on there to put moisture back in their hoof, but you don't want to do it too much. And I would always call it paint my toenails. So when she was around, I was like, you know, Mr. T needs his toenails painted if you got some time. Okay. And she'd come running over. I'd give her a little jar with a hoof conditioner, and it looked all shiny because when you put it on, it was like a Vaseline type of thing. It made this shiny that soaked in the hoof. And she would paint it, and she would get it all perfect, and she would get under his back feet and do it. And, you know, her mom was like, that horse better not kick my kid. I'm not going to be happy about that. Her mom was freaking Miss Horsewoman that knew everything about a horse and didn't know shit. But anyway, always scared her of horses. But I digress. That's for my horse shit. All right. What you describe about IQ is one reason they don't like you being a classroom teacher when you have a PhD. Universities are a bit different, but below that, they don't want you to have a PhD. Any government, in my opinion, any government doesn't want smart people, because a lot of people that were promoted weren't promoted because they were good, weren't promoted because they were smart, and usually don't know the job that well. They were promoted because who they were sleeping with, who they were friends with, what bathroom they use, what color they are. They're promoted for those reasons, and anybody that comes in smart or more educated than the boss, it's threatening. And the boss doesn't like it because they're afraid they're going to be shown up. They're going to show how stupid they are. So, I mean, in any career field, if you get smart, if you're working for somebody dumber than you, they're probably not going to like you. I had some pretty good supervisors who were pretty smart. We may not have agreed on things, but I don't know if I'm trying to think of a supervisor that was just a freaking idiot. In the military, I had a couple that were complete idiots. But I think in civilian law enforcement, most of my supervisors were pretty smart. I've had a couple supervisors that were smart and good common sense and savvy on the management style and how to control and justify and write and get things, but they weren't necessarily technical. My lieutenant, they ended up getting me involved with Rising. They told me they were hiding evidence and all that shit. He was very, I mean, that guy could get a job anywhere. He was always promoting fast, but he was not a meteor street cop, non-tactical. He wasn't involved in that. He'd carry a gun, didn't really like it. I mean, he was just not a road dog cop, but he was a good supervisor because he supported you. He knew what he didn't know. He listened. If you told him something, he would either verify it or back it up so he could sell it to the bosses. So he was a great boss, but he, without a doubt, didn't have 1/4 of the knowledge about actual law enforcement that I did. But you know what? I mean, we worked in the military together. I was his boss in the military. He was my boss in civilian. He moved up better in civilian. I was a master sergeant in the military. He was the staff, you know. But anyway, oh, Rick, did you see the CNN interview? I liked it. What? I don't know which one you're talking about. That's like, oh, Inspired Clips. Did you see that shooting in Chicago? Man, it was really good. Okay. Now you figure that out and I'll figure yours out. How about that? Wow, I'm a boomer. Now I'm invisible. Shut up, stupid boomer. He don't even talk. He didn't even get the message. He's such a fucking boomer. Rick, will you ever make more tactical training videos? I don't know. If something comes up, I mean, I try to go subject specific and kind of like my projects and what's going on at the time. So I don't like, it's not like I do all tactics, all SWAT, all canine, all horses, all guns. It's kind of like if I have expertise in an area and it comes up and I think there's bullshit information out there and I can shed some light, then I'll address it and I'll try to educate people. If I had a lot of requests from a lot of people that wanted something, then I wouldn't mind putting something together. I've been working on freaking horsepower for I don't know how long, probably 6 months now. I've got all these things on horsepower and what exactly is a horsepower. And people that don't know, where's that one slide that always pops up when I'm looking for something else? Now I won't be able to find it. Every time I click on something, it's like, damn it, that's that freaking horsepower one. That's part of it for leverage. Oh, that's the bolt. Shit. Horsepower is 1K minus something squared. I can't figure it out. But horsepower is one of those things that's a pretty interesting topic to me, because when you hear 1 horsepower, you think it's 1 horse, but it's really kind of complicated on how they went and how much it takes for a horse to pull a bucket that weighs 1 pound, 6 feet, or 1 foot, and then it's calculated on that's 1 horsepower. And if a horse had to pull it for so many feet, it's kind of, it sounds simple, but if you try to research and look into it, there's not really a great, good explanation of horsepower. And it's changed over the year. It used to be like 1.4 something 7. I don't know what it was. And now it's something else. Let's see. What you're describing about IQ is one reason they don't like you being in class. Oh, I think I already read that, didn't I? I was supposed to go down to new videos. 1 horsepower is 874 watts. See, that's one definition, but 847 watts may be a different power conversion on the engine, or whether there's a lot of factors that goes into it. Let's see if somebody, horsepower plus distance. No. Rick was in the Air Force. He trained military dogs. Who's giving out my bio? That's another thing that all the Tatum people, I don't know how many people come here and comment and go, dude, everybody on Tatum channel says you were not really a cop. You're just making shit up. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I got pictures of me on my website. I got my DD-14. I got pictures. I got warrants that I've written for shit on my site. There's just so much. How could somebody, I mean, I fought with the fucking DA and turned his ass in and went to court and fucking press releases, turning him in for hiding fucking evidence on a murder trial. And in that fucking case, I testified for the CHP on a gun that we found, because we found a gun that was used to shoot and kill a CHP, and I had to testify in court, and the DA used for that. And then the next day after I turned in my letter, he put me on a Brady list to discredit me against turning his ass in. But I wasn't on a Brady list the day before when I testified during a fucking murder trial. So, and then I get people saying, man, he really wasn't a cop. It's the same people that come here and tell me about this conspiracy. It's like, I made all this shit up. I faked the pictures. The pictures are all Photoshop. All my training that I showed for my FBI and, firearms and weapons, all those certificates that I showed when I do things, so people understand that I have credibility, I have at least experience in what I'm talking about. I faked all that. It's just crazy. I liked a few videos of you training the lady to shoot a pistol. I haven't talked to her in a while. I got to call her and see how she's doing. The horsepower is 1.25 humans. I don't know if that's correct either. Maybe it is. Are the bullet manufacturers keeping the supply low? I don't think they are. I think they're producing as much as they can. I think the government is creating a shortage by buying it and sending it to other countries. How many genders are there? There's freaking 2. There's male and female. That's easy. That's like we got a fucking Supreme Court justice that can't define what a woman is. It's just crazy. Rick, are all state police incompetent? Yeah, I think they are. I mean, you got to realize most state police all started as highway patrol. And even in California, the highway patrol used to not be cops. They had traffic officer on their badge before they developed CHP. They were a traffic officer. They couldn't make arrests. They couldn't do anything but traffic. They were all fucking just parking, modified freaking parking monitors. They go out and write tickets. That's it. And then they were getting embarrassed and they wanted to be more like the regular cops and they wanted status. So they got lobbies and they were across state. And then California Highway Patrol. We want to be called the Highway Patrol. And they didn't always wear the Smokey Bear hat. Then they wanted to wear the Smokey Bear hat because all the other good state agencies wore the Smokey Bear hat. That's some sort of freaking code for, I want to be a drill sergeant. I want to treat people like shit, because all drill sergeants that wear that hat have an attitude and treat people like shit and everybody's scared of them. So I want to wear that hat. I mean, to me, that is just the most you hear all this shit about we want police to be more approachable. We want them to be nicer. We want people to feel part of the community. And you put a fucking drill sergeant hat on them. And somehow that's supposed to make people feel comfortable. And there's plenty of studies about people will live up to the mask they wear. The Stanford prison experiment. They took kids. If you haven't read that study, it's a really good study. I did a video on it. They took kids. They paid them, I think, $2 a day in San Francisco or $5 a day to participate in the experiment. And they had, I think, 20 kids, and half were going to be prison guards and half were going to be the prisoners. They planned on this running for 3 months, and I think like within 3 weeks they had to cancel it because the prisoners became more and more acting like prisoners. They were spitting on the guards. They were getting more, even though they were told they couldn't do that, and they were counseled about stay in your role, don't get out of it, don't get too aggressive, etc. The prisoners got so upset and violent and started acting like prisoners because they lived up to what they were living. They were being treated like prisoners. They were being searched. And the students that were the guards, who had never been a cop, never wanted to be a cop, weren't law enforcement. It was luck of the draw. Who was going to be a prisoner and who's going to be a guard? The prison guards were blindfolding people, tying them up naked, beating them. It was just, and they were videotaping this. And the guy that did the experience got a lot of heat and said he traumatized all these kids. It was a bad experience. It went on too long. He got a lot of heat. But I thought it was a great experiment to show people will live up to what they are. When we have cops that we're telling they're heroes, you can't question them. They will take you to jail. They're the superior authority. You must comply. They live up to that tyrannical freaking role. You put them in a drill sergeant hat and they start treating people like they're fucking stupid trainees. And you wonder why. Anyway, I digress. How the hell did I get on that? Oh, state police. All state police are nothing but ticket writers that became state police, and now they got more authority because they fall under the state, and now they end up taking over investigations, and they're all incompetent because they were all fucking ticket writers. Nobody who wants to be a real cop goes into state police. People that go into state police want the benefits and the money, and they don't care if they have to write tickets to do it. And it's safe. They don't have to deal with criminals. They don't have to do search warrants. They don't have to do parole searches. They don't have to deal with the violent shit of society. They get to go drive the highways and harass people and truckers and give out tickets. It's easy and it's good money. That's how you get in highway patrols across the state or state police. Now, there's going to be some state police here that are going to be pissed. That's not true. I work for an agency and we're the premier agency. CHP always wants to tell us about the premier agencies. I remember these two fucking CHP got in this dude's face and he told him get the fuck out of there with punks or something. And this CHP had a fucking meltdown and made the guy stare at his patch and said, "You see this patch? Look at it." And he grabbed, "Look at that. That says California Highway Patrol. You don't fucking talk to us that. You may talk to other cops that way. We're the highway." And I was like, dude, are you fucking serious? I mean, he just fucking lost his mind. Now, he didn't hit him or doing that, but he was way out of line. And that's what CHP, all their mentality is. They all act like that. And it's just promoting, when they go through the academy, we're the best. We're number one. Everyone else is weak. They don't know shit. We're the highway patrol. Everyone else sucks. We're number one. We're number one. It's cop fucking indoctrination bullshit. And I don't know why people aren't more upset about it. I didn't like it. I never liked it. Damn chat's moving too fast. Really? I got it on 30-second thing. Let's see. Corn Pop was a bad dude. I don't know who Corn Pop. I never listened to trolls. Trolls and Fed job. Hate truth. I spoke truth. Vic Slack was hung. What the fuck does that mean? Angry cops. And see, a lot of people will say that about cops too. I mean, there are some cops that you may classify as angry. Those are usually the muscle-bound ego guys that go out every day to prove their manhood. And they know they can do it, and they know they got backup, and they get to treat people like shit and feel like a man. I told you about that one cop that was freaking 6 foot tall, huge, called me to come get a shotgun because his wife tried to blow his head off to the door. We went to training together, and he had to yell in a room, "I love you," to prove that he wasn't by. Every time he went somewhere, he'd be sitting at lunch, and he'd have to yell really loud, "I love you," so his wife would believe he wasn't. His wife's like freaking 4'11", 5 foot, cute little thing, great little body, freaking smoking hottie. But I mean, she was just fucking crazy. Just tried to blow his head off. And he was a big macho dude. People that act all in control at work, to me, they never had control in their private life. They were weasels. They were pushed around by their wife. They weren't happy. They had all this misery in their personal life. And then they come to the job and it's like, I got a badge, I got power. Nobody can tell me no, I'm in control. I got 8 hours to show how independent and strong I am. And it's just like, dude, that's the wrong type of person you want in this job. But you can't figure that out sometimes until the guy's been a cop for a year or two. You don't know. Let's see here. Flux capacitor makes, oh shit, here we go. I gotta turn my fan on. It got really hot today. My air conditioner's been kicking on. Horsepower is defined as a horse doing a vertical lift of 550 pounds at a distance of 1 foot per second. Yes, I think that's pretty close, John. There's some other factors that go in there, though, because there was 2 different ways to test this. There was a wheel with a horse working in a circle, and then there's a horse backing up. This was a very interesting topic. And like I said, for 6 months, I've got a page, and I've been collecting data, and I grab every time I find something new, I slide it over there. And I wanted to just do a good video on horsepower so people understood it. And I just, it's one of the many projects that I have on the table that I'll get to it. They used to do some really interesting psych experiments. Can't get away from it. I know. Everybody don't want to get sued, and they don't want to do any of that anymore. That prison, Stanford prison experiment, read up on that. It's really interesting. I like that one, and I like the Milgram experiment, where they put a guy in a lab coat, and he brought people in and told him to shock a dude, even though it killed him. The people sat there and turned the knob and literally killed a dude, even though it was fake. They didn't know it. They were told that this puts out electrical shocks, and they go ahead and shock him on one, and they turn it up, and the guy on the other side be like, ah! He goes, man, that hurt. And then, they go, oh, here's the level, and if you get to this point, it can kill him, and if you get here, it will kill him, and blah, blah, blah. And they brought a guy with a lab coat in. He's got a clipboard. He goes, okay, for our first experience, are you ready to do the test? Yes. Okay, I need you to turn it up to 3. And the person would look at him, male and female, and turn that shit up to 3. And the guy's like, ah! And he's screaming and yelling. And the people turn up would look at the guy with the white coat, like, should I keep going or what I do? And literally, they had people that turned it up past the point of killing somebody, and they wouldn't say no. Every once in a while, when it got to killing someone, a couple people said, I can't do it. There was a couple women, when they were yelling really bad, like on 4, they wouldn't go past 4 or 5. They were like, I can't do this. They did the same type experiment on Dr. Phil one time, and I thought it was really great. They grabbed a couple people from the audience. They put the audience in a room in a different area offside, and they were holding people in there. They didn't know they were part of the experiment. And so outside, they had a dude come by that supposedly had just assaulted or stole something. It was a minor crime. I want to say he stole something. Tried to steal a lady's purse or stole something from a store. And so a security guard comes out and holds a taser and says, hey, stay right here. Don't move. And they grab a person and say, hey, come here. And they called one of the guests that they didn't know they were part of the experiment. Come here. I'm going to give you this taser. If he tries to run, tase him. Almost everybody took the taser and went, okay, because he had a security guard uniform on. And he said he just stole him. They called these people over and said, here's a taser. If he moves, tase him. And it was freaking amazing. One girl held him, and as soon as the security guard got away, she was like, I'm not going to tase you. If you want to run away, you will, but I'm not going to tase you. I was like, oh, at least she was honest. That was funny. One dude, he fucking got over there, and he goes, if he moves, tase him. And the guy turned around and went, hey, man, I got it. He tased him. And it was a fake taser, but it shot, and the guy fell on the ground, and he was screaming and screaming. And when he tried to get up, the guy tased him again. And he tased him again. And then the guy went over and kicked him when he tried to get up. And the security guard had to come back because they were like, this dude's going out of control. He's going to beat the shit out of this dude. He doesn't even know it's fake tasing. He doesn't know this is all fake. And he was getting too aggressive within like 5 minutes because he was given authority by the security guard to hold him. He was told by someone in power to do something, and he just did it blindly. I mean, those experiments are just so eye-opening to the frailty of the human mind to be manipulated or to just shut off self-thinking and reasonableness. Very, very hard. I mean, it was just, I love those. Anyway, that guy's now a state cop. You know what? Right in the middle of the show, he pulled out a razor and he shaved his head because he like felt empowered. Taste that guy. They did too, man. It was freaking funny. That one girl was just like, as soon as that security guard left, she was like, "You can leave. I'm not going to tase you." And she just laid the gun on the ground. I mean, it was just crazy. I think one of them, they put two of them out there and told them, and the one person wouldn't do it, and the other one said, "I'll do it." And they took the taser and tased him. I was like, what the fuck? It was freaking crazy. Have you seen a video of CHP in New Orleans after Katrina beating up an old lady when she tells him she has a pistol? I wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think I've seen that one. Rick, there's a social experiment where a woman is beating a man and everyone just laughs. You know what? I can absolutely see that. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, I don't know if I really hate to admit this, but if I went to a call and there was a little woman and a guy was like, "Man, she hit me," and blah, I'd be like, "Dude, really? You want me to fucking arrest her? What the, really?" I mean, I can't think of a time that I arrested a woman for domestic violence where there wasn't like the guy was like really bloody or bleeding. And normally the guy'd be like, "I don't want to arrest it." I'd be like, "Dude, I ain't got no choice. You're fucking going to the hospital with a broken arm. She's going to jail. I can't fucking write this off as you bumped into her. I mean, it's not going to fly." But I got to admit, if the woman was anywhere near, Tatum only came on here because a few of us constantly give him crap. Well, he must be getting a lot of shit because a lot of people that commented were like, they unsubscribed and he blocked them and he was telling them to get out. "I want you to unsubscribe if you think the cops were puss." I mean, evidently they were, I don't know if he said that, but they were pretty hard on him. "That's my last attempt to convey a message." Tatum replied on his channel, "Coming on live with What's Up app." But Equate Bond commented, "It's a bot. Just letting you know." Anytime that says What's Up app, that's usually a bot. I get those quite a bit. So anything with What's Up, as a matter of fact, I even try to block What's Up app in my comments to where it doesn't even show up. Hey, Rick, did you know Ray Latoya died? I don't know who Ray Latoya is. Cute little bunny boxer there. I don't know who Ray Latoya. "Here's some guns. Go shoot up the school." Okay. Yeah, I wonder if they did that. How many people go? I don't think anybody would go. "One electrical engineer, male, would not turn up the voltage only because he knew what that would do to someone." Oh, he was an electrical engineer. He's one of those brainiacs. He's like, "Yo, dude, you can't be doing that shit. That's not safe." Good for him. That was in the, I think, is it Melbourne experiments? Let me look that up. What happened to my freaking thing over there? Did I shut that down? I always misspell that. I think it's MEL, Melbourne Experiment. Melbourne Express. Maybe this is it. Landmark collaboration, COVID-19 on the functions of the city. What? COVID-19 did a study? It's something. Who knows the name of that? I can't think of it now. 1 horsepower equal 5 chimp strength. I will never help a cop security guard. See, I kind of say that, but I'm kind of, I mean, I like to help the loser. I'm always for the underdog, especially if somebody keeps going. You know, they did a study on when is it okay to shoot somebody in the back in war. And the findings of the study was kind of interesting. And I think it came out to either 15 or 27 feet. There was some odd number that if they were closer than this amount when they started running, shooting in the back was morally acceptable and could be dealt with. But if they were over this mark when you shot them in the back, it would cause problems mentally because it wasn't justified and they were just trying to get away and you shot them when you didn't have to. And I can't remember that mark, but it's like you can shoot somebody back if they're close, but if they're far and you shoot them in the back, not good. It's not written down anywhere, just from the study in the moral code. Yeah, we need more Ricks on the force. I don't know about that shit. We don't. He won't debate him. You don't think Tatum will debate me? He might. I mean, I don't think he's going to be happy with my review of his video, but I don't think he's going to be like, you're an asshole. Tatum did come on live, and he was in a hurry and had to make a good point, but any large metro area in Cali has seen increase on highway shooting vehicles. So people drive fucking threaten shit. Clydesdale horsepower versus shit and pulling horse. Doesn't matter. It does. That's not how they work. They don't go by the size or strength of a horse. It's all about weight and movement. How much energy does it take to move creates? That's kind of like the width of a train track is the width of an old wagon, because they had two horses in a wagon traveling, and when they were working or designing or whatever, that ended up being the width of the railroad tracks. So whatever the width of a railroad track is what a wagon used to be that was pulled by a couple horses. Now, if somebody can find a fact or, where that was written by government, I don't know. But Wilbur! Is Jerry Reynolds really Pat? No, I don't think so. Pat doesn't come on as much as Jerry does. The point of that experiment was, as long as a person was not responsible for. Well, I think that was part of it. The other part was people will justify doing something if a person of authority tells them. Kind of what you said, because it transfers reliability, responsibility, accountability to the responsible lab coat, doctor, policeman that told me to do it. I'm really wondering, if a cop told a civilian to shoot somebody and they shot him and it was unjustified, I don't think they could charge a civilian. Even though a cop isn't allowed to tell people to kill people, if a cop told you to do that and you did it, and you didn't have any other way of figuring out whether it was true or not, and you just did it, I don't think you get charged. Beto will be in the Texas Next government. Comedy's done fully. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. I don't need to see an experiment to know what evils people. Oh man, but it's crazy what people. Tatum would never talk to Rick. He's a complete shrill. I don't know if he's a shrill. I don't know exactly what you mean by shrill, but I will say this. From the video on the things that he was saying, he doesn't understand the difference between a SWAT hostage situation and an active shooter. He thinks they're the same, and they're not. And I told him that in my video. I think people will learn something from my video, and I don't think I trashed him, and I don't think he should take it personally, but I'm not sure he'll like it. Horsepower is when Buddy shakes his head and gives human treatment. Only like 20% won't do it. A horse is a horse, of course. If you ever had a horse kick you in the nuts, you know what horsepower is. Dude, you don't want to get kicked anywhere by a freaking horse. Their power is freaking. I think Jerry Reynolds is Pat. No, he's not. I don't think he is. California has ton. He could be, and maybe never told me, but I don't think so. If it was, I think if it was Pat, he would be making comments that I would know, and I could tell it was him. I've known him long enough to know that. Tatum was a Tucson cop for 6 years, according to his website. Rick may be retired. He's still one of the few real law enforcement. I did a video on a Stanford and Milgram. That's what it is. What did I put? Milborn. It's the Milgram experiment. Damn it, Milgram. Shit, my fingers were off. I typed that all wrong. There it is. Great experiment. So this is the test subject. Oh, hang on. You guys can't see that. This is the test subject. This is the person getting electrocuted. And this is the lab coat dude that tells him what to do. And this person will listen to him even if it kills this guy. Pretty freaking good experiment. Oh, let's see if it says, please continue. Predictions, results. 65% of the experiment participant administrated experiment's final massive 400 and 50 volts shock. I didn't think volts hurt you. I thought it was amps. I mean, I think a taser is like 5,000 volts. Me knowing what a taser does, I'd go 450. I'd be like, yeah, shit, he can handle it. Freaking 5,000 is a taser. Rick, you're a big bootleg. Melbourne experiment raised the questions of research ethics and scientific experimentation because of extreme emotional stress. So this is where they attacked the person who did the test and designed the test. They didn't like that. HP is speed. Horsepower is speed. Torque is rotational force. That is the best way I can explain it. And that didn't explain shit, Jimmy McJack 73. I filled the pool with the salt water today. Attack Hellamower. I like the 5-monkey ladder banana. Yeah, the 5-monkey experiment is a good little experiment. I've got that on my website. This is my last attempt to convey the message. Tatum replied to me about coming on live, but equate what? I'm starting to think this might be a bot because they like keep repeating the same damn comment. It is electricity that kills you. Really? Rick, the most dangerous about electroshock is the amperage. Yeah, I thought. That's what I thought. I thought a half an amp would kill you. 2 amps, okay? I thought a half an amp would kill you. It's not the volts, it's the amps. You got it bad. Damn, I'll stick with just the cracked ribs. What? Upstate New York. Hello, peeps. Tatum is slow. He definitely used to ride the short bus. Why you guys want to make it personal and crack on a poor guy? It's not volts, it's the amps. Wow. 5,000 volt taser. That's what I thought. My flashlight is 90K. What does that mean? Maybe a taser is 50. Let's see. How many volts in taser? 50,000. Sorry. 50,000 volts in a taser. Oh, hang on. You guys can't read that. 50,000 volts. Sorry. I was wrong. See, Rick, you were never a cop. Whatever. Lester got baby oysters now. I know I have not watched one of those videos. Lester sent me a text of the one baby popping out and the one walking, and it was really cute. Rick, the cops were told to stand fast, and they did. Just like that experience, and kids died. Yeah, I don't believe that stand fast shit. I think that was bullshit. Amperage is what kills you. There's a good YouTube called Plainly Difficult that talks. Dude, if you want to see a good video, go to, I love this guy anyway. He's just a great dude. Smarter Every Day. I think his name's Jason. I can't remember. Nice dude. He goes on with the Coast Guard on one of their boats and goes down to the engine and shows how they can maneuver and how the jets can turn. And instead of making it go in reverse, it has a big cone that goes over the jet. And then the water whips around and forces water this way, which reverses the boat. It was a really, really cool video. So if you want to watch a cool video about a cool-ass boat the Coast Guard drives, check out Smarter Every Day, where he visits the Coast Guard boat. And I forgot what it was called. Amperage. They said it was unethical to use the experience and prohibited. Yeah, I know. I think it's bullshit. Volts hurt, but amps will kill you. Rolled up newspaper. Bits, no shoes, Mustangs. I recovered from 2 broken ones from an accident. What? That's private conversation. So here's another one. I unsubscribed from Talon a while ago. Man, I can't believe the number of people that I heard saying that. I wonder if people go to other channels and say, unsubscribe that fucking good luck American motherfucker. I wonder if that's what people are putting on other channels when they leave here. That motherfucker blocked me. Fuck him. Oh, did Trump have a rally? I would do whatever the authority tells. Oh, there's Jerry Reynolds. I didn't even know he was here. That's why everybody's talking about him. Jerry, why don't you fess up on who you really are so people know? Look up Ash's Conformity Experiment. That's a funny one. Really? Hose. Conformity experiment. What of these experiments say about group behavior? Conformity. Imagine yourself in a situation, you sign up, participate in a psychological experiment. Seated in a room, other participants, you've shown little. The experimenter asks each participant individually to select the matching line segment. On some occasions, everyone in the group chose the correct line, but occasionally, the other participant unanimously declared that a different line was actually the correct answer. So what do you think the experiment line was right match? In psychology, conformity referred to individual tendency to follow the unspoken rules. See, that's why I don't like the team player shit. I'm telling you, man, that is almost a trigger word for me when I see somebody trying to get somebody to conform and they use the team player, because I heard that shit all the time. Rick, can't you just be a team player for once? Rick, why do you insist on not being a team player? Anytime I disagree with my bosses, a decision, an op plan, anytime that you just didn't go along to get along, that team player shit would come up. And it just drove me nuts. And you know what? I mean, it'd be like, if you guys are going to be fucking idiots, I don't want to be on the idiot team. Fine. Call me a non-team player. That's an idiot fucking plan. Okay? Maybe it's the greatest plan in the world. But if I didn't like it for whatever reason, I voiced it. If I was going to be involved in it, you know, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example of a time where I was just like, you guys are fucking crazy. We were doing a warrant one time, and normally before we do a warrant, we have either somebody sitting on the house to let us know changes. We have a person drive by. If anything changes, snap a picture so we know if it's changed. And then we show everybody it's going to warrant. Here's what a house looks like, blah, blah. And so I'm going through that. And then if anything changes, who's ever sitting on the house, be like, hey, we just got 2 cars come in. Here's the plates. Ran them. They come back to so-and-so. 4 people went in the house. So now we know we have 4 extra people in the house when we go in. A lot of times we would know the guy we wanted, and we knew the wife took the kids to school at a certain time. So we would sit on the house. As soon as she left with the kids, we'd hit the house, because then we didn't have to deal with her or the kids. So, I mean, I don't know if they even do that anymore. To me, that's just due diligence. You want to minimize the trauma to other non-involved parties if you can, but it takes more work. And most cops are lazy, and most government employees are lazy. So if it takes more work, they're going to take the easy way. Kind of like standing in a hallway while kids are getting killed. We'll just wait for the SWAT team. Let them come in. Safer, officer safety. But anyway, there was something on this plan, and we did. I asked, I go, has anybody done a drive by the house, see if any changes? No, we drove by it yesterday. It should be the same. And I'm like, man, I don't think we ought to hit the house blindly, because once you commit and you pull up in a van and you're jumping out or you're on the side of a car, however you make the approach, once you're there, the gig's up. So you want to make sure and have all the information. And they didn't fucking want to send anybody to do it. And I was a fucking non-team player. And why do I have to be bringing it up? Why can't I just go on the war? Whatever. I mean, and it wasn't like I was bitching and going, you guys are fucking crazy. I just went, man, I think we should have somebody drive by. I don't think it's a good idea that we hit it without knowing what's going on right now. Well, we'll find out when we get there. We'll just deal with it. Right? Just go along with us, Rick. We'll just deal with it. Okay? We get there, and they put a fucking gate with a lock on it. We couldn't even get in, motherfucker. So we all jump out, and we're ready, and the whole key is to get in the fucking house before they knew we were there, so they couldn't flush the dope or run out the back door. And guess what? We're all standing at the fucking gate with our thumb up our ass going like, anybody bring bolt cutters? No, the lock wasn't here. Nobody brought bolt cutters because we didn't have a lock yesterday. And I mean, I wanted to go, I told you stupid motherfuckers, but I just stood there with my mouth shut because I knew the smart people knew like, damn, Rick was right on this one. But nobody said it. And we just fucking stood out there and we had to wait for a unit to come get it. I can't remember if we ended up hooking at a car, just ripping it open, or a couple of guys jumped over. I might have been one of the guys that jumped over. And we kind of went and secured the front until the rest of the dumbasses could get in. But, I mean, it's just little things like that. If you question in government because there's this get along. It's the same way I used to hate going in the office in the morning. I'd rather get there before the people got there, Because if I got there afterwards, there was always this social bullshit. Hey, Rick, what are you doing? How was your weekend? What did you do last night? But and you got a bullshit with everybody you walk by. And if it's like, hey, I'm working on a warrant, I really don't have time to talk. Later on, somebody else would come in and go, hey, man, so-and-so says you were rude. She tried to talk to you, and you act like you were too busy for her. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It was a constant battle. And that's why when a lot of people said, man, Rick, he's not really, they'd have these fucking birthday parties. They'd have these stupid meetings where we talk about nothing but shit. And all these people that weren't doing shit, but hanging around collecting checks, doing as many as possible, they liked all this shit because it was social. It was fun. We eat, we share. I was fucking usually busy and I had a bunch of things in the fire. And I was like, I don't have time for this fucking bullshit. I'm actually doing my fucking job. Oh, Rick, you need to relax. It'll get done. So what? There was this laxity. I just didn't like it. And there'd be other cops that are like, man, I told you about that one fucking detective. He fucking wanted me to, he didn't have a car. His car was in the shop or something. He's like, hey, man, can you drive me somewhere? I go, yeah, what do you need? And I said, okay. I said, I need to swing by my house anyway and get a photo of it or something like that. And he's like, no, man. No, if you're going to give me a ride, we got to go straight there and come back. I don't want to get involved in any pursuits. I don't want you arrested and chasing anybody. He was all fucking paranoid. I'm like, dude, I'll give you a fucking ride. Let's just go. And we get out there, and I see this one dude with a gangbanger. He's flying his fucking colors or some shit. And he drove by me, and I go, man, I think that's that motherfucker. He's got a warrant. And I look behind me, and this dude's like, just stop and let me out. I don't want to get involved. Just let me out. I'll walk back. I can't handle this. And I'm like, fuck, dude, relax. And I can't remember if he got out and walked and I went after dude or I ended up driving. I really don't remember. But he was such a fucking pussy, and he didn't want to do anything. We called him Mr. Rogers. He always wore a fucking sweater with a little tie. And he was the laziest, always had his fucking gun on the desk, never carried the motherfucker. Anytime we needed backup or something went down and we need fucking guns, he was fucking, oh, my gun's in my desk. I don't have it. Just a freaking worthless fuck. That's why I never asked you for a ride. We can never go anywhere without getting in a pursuit or you stirring up some shit and getting an arrest. Whatever, dude. You're a fucking pussy. Walnut. Yeah, I think I saw that. I've got to open up. Dude, they are not going to release that motherfucker's name. I would love to know that too. I want to know what agency he works for and who was in charge and why not one of the 18 cops said, dude, that's a bad, dude, I'm telling you, man, I would have been like, are you fucking serious? These kids are, I don't have time to argue about this shit. I'm fucking going in. These kids are in danger. If you guys want to come, I'm going. And I wouldn't have fucking discussed, we'd have just fucking went. And I guarantee you, one or two of the cops, when they saw someone else do it, they would have stacked in and when I'm going with them. I guarantee you. But they were all fucking scared. Nobody wanted to be the first guy to say, fucking, I ain't standing out here while kids are getting killed. And so they all complied. And that is just such a failure and a lack of fucking balls. It's just disgusting to me that 18 male cops with guns and badges and fucking bulletproof vests could stand outside and know there's a gunman in there with little kids and they hear shots fired and they're calling on 911 and these motherfuckers like we're waiting for backup. Oh my God. You guys don't really know how bad that fucking irritates me. It is fucking disgusting. I hate it. 6 people do nothing and 1 person does everything. Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, in government work, it's always that way. 10% of the people do 90% of work. That's the motto. And you know what? The 10% of people doing the work usually don't get promoted because they're too fucking busy to go to the right schools, to shake the right hands, to kiss the right ass. They're too busy doing their job. The ones that get promoted are ones sitting around and do nothing but work on getting the promotion. I used to hate government employees that were always trying to get the job, but never doing their job. There were cops always I'm going to go here. I'm applying here. I got this. And they never want to do anything because they're about to leave. And all they want to do is look for the fucking next job, the next paycheck, the high raise. Walnut. That was a great fucking scene. I'll tell you another good scene. I'm watching Tombstone right now. This one asshole pulls his horse off the train. He hits him with this freaking whip or switch. And that fucking, who was it? Who's the head guy? White Earp walks over, grabs the hand out of the fucking, grabbed the leash that was tied to the fuck is that? I got some little spider or bug up there. He grabs the horse, takes the whip from the dude and slaps him across the face. And the dude's like, and he looks at him and goes, "It hurts, doesn't it?" I fucking love it. That is a freaking classical sign. And I've done that, not to that extreme, to people that were yanking on a horse. I'd walk up to them and grab them by the shirt and start yanking them around. "Come here, follow me." And I'd pull them and yank them. And they'd be like, what are you doing? Stop. What? And I go, "Why are you resisting? Why are you being stubborn?" Because that's what they tell the horse when they pull. And I said, "I'm not. I'm treating you exactly the way you're treating that horse." And sometimes the light would go on. Most of the time, they would just think I was an asshole. But sometimes the light would go on. I like your mustache today. Oh, you didn't like it yesterday? Today it's okay? What's up with that? Same in every job. It comes to high school, people that can't get over it. Now, look, I got to admit, I had a bad habit of sleeping with a lot of women in the office. So if there was somebody that I was kind of interested in, I would usually find time to talk to them. And you know what? It would piss off the other people. Oh, he'll talk to her. He likes her because she has whatever, nice ass, nice titties, whatever. He'll talk to her. He don't have time for me. I'm just not his type. He's not trying to get me in bed. And this jealousy would just be, and it'd be like, "Sorry, I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in her." I mean, I wouldn't say that, but they would just have this. And that's why I didn't like getting involved in this, dynamics of freaking office politics. You're going to piss somebody off. I had one girl always flirt. She was married. Cute, pretty hot. I would have absolutely slept with her if she wasn't married, but she was married. And she would flirt with me, and I'd be like, all right, I could tell she likes me. And we joke around, and, that we didn't like kiss and grab that, but I could tell that she liked me. Well, a friend of hers that I was sleeping with that nobody knew, who had like paid for Hooters, and she had very small Hooters, which I didn't mind. I mean, she was nice looking, but she was jealous of the girl with the big Hooters in the first place. When she found out that we were sleeping together, she freaking was crying, went home early. I got called in the boss. "What did you do to her?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" They go, "So-and-so just left and she's upset about you." I go, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't even see her today." And then the girl I was sleeping with calls me and goes, "Hey, so-and-so found out that we're sleeping together. She was pretty upset." And I was like, "What?" I didn't have a clue. And so now the boss is like, "Man, you got to fix this." I go, "Fix what? She's married. I didn't sleep with her. I didn't." "Well, she really likes you and you hurt her and she's upset now and it's causing problems." So I call her and I go, "Look, can we go talk?" And I invite her over to this freaking pizza place where we do the lunch. I go, I'll buy you a drink. And I said, "We'll just sit down and talk." And she goes, "We don't have to talk." And she starts crying. I'm like, I've never kissed this girl. I've never hugged her. And so she's crying. And I invite her to this place. And she goes in there. And you'd swear to God, we had been dating for 10 years. And we were breaking up and splitting kids in homes. She was freaking bawling and could barely hold her composure. "And I really liked you. And I had no idea. And I would have never." And I'm like, "We've never done anything." I said, I'm really confused. I said, "I like you. You're a nice girl. And if you weren't married," I said, "I would go out with you. But I really don't know why you're so upset." "Well, I just really liked you. And I can't believe that you're sleeping with her." And I was like, what the fuck? And of course, the girl I was sleeping with didn't like her. And she was kind of like happy that she was upset. I think she told her on purpose, to be honest. But anyway, I was just like, fuck, I get called in a freaking boss. I didn't even do anything. It's just one girl found out I was sleeping with another girl and she was upset. So I get called into the boss. That's that office politics shit. Normally I stayed out of it, but Women were my weakness. It's like a curse. What's that saying? It's a gift and it's a curse. All right. I'm gonna say it was you in the office, Rick. Best thing to do work from home. I know that socializing shit. I don't like phony people. I didn't like people that I didn't like coming up being nice to me because they just want to be nice. And I'm like, you fucking talking shit. I hear all this fucking shit. You fucking start fucking rumors. I've heard all this shit come back to me through the fucking office. And now you come up to me. Hi, Rick. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. You're looking nice. What are you working on? And I'm just kind of like, why the fuck am I wasting time with you? You don't even fucking like me. What are you trying to do? I didn't say that, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, but you got to play the game. You know, I wouldn't go to the birthday party. Hey, man, we're having a birthday party, blah, blah. Why didn't you show up? I go, first of all, I don't need the fucking cake. I said, second of all, I'm in the middle of doing some shit. Man, you ain't that busy. You know, being part of a team is a big part of this office, and we have to get along, and people need to know they can trust you, and they got to know that you care about them, and you need to show up to these. These are important. Fuck. All right, I'll show up next time. So anytime I knew there was a fucking party, I'd go get involved in some shit, and then I didn't have to go. It'd be like, he's booking somebody to jail. He arrests somebody. I'd be like, fuck. So then they couldn't bitch at me for not showing up. I find reasons to get out of going to those fucking bullshit, fake kiss-ass sessions. Let's see. Rick was a player. I wasn't a player. I was single, and I enjoy having fun. Rick is a pimp. I'm not a pimp. I'm a pimp. Yo, baby, shit. Get your ass over here. Show me your titties, bitch. I'm Rick James. Yeah, see, you don't shit where you eat. You don't fish off the company pier. Don't dip your pen in the company ink. I get it. The problem is you work with people. They know you. You know them. You kind of develop this either work friendship or whatever, and then it just turns into you kind of admire things or you like things, and the connection's there. And it happens because of proximity. If you spend enough time, what's that old saying? If I can find him, I can, or if I can meet him, I can get him, but yet I haven't met him. That's why I'm in the state I'm in. What was that song? Who knows that song? What's the name of that damn song? I ain't got nobody. It's just a Saturday night, and I can't remember the name of the song, but there's a song out there, and it says, if I can meet him, I can get him, but yet I haven't met him. That's why I'm in the state I'm in. When you work with women, there's just no way around it. Men and women, if they work together, there's going to be relationships. You know, it's easy to say you shouldn't do it. You should avoid it. There isn't a company or a group or the military or cops, firemen. It doesn't matter. If you work together and you're in proximity, relationships are going to develop. If you're a man and you like women, I mean, let's see. Your little head got you, dude. That motherfucker. If I didn't like it so much, I'd cut it off. All right, Rick, don't you know you don't shit? Check out Heavy Duty Country. Rick the Casanova. I will say this, though. Women who are newly hired were given a briefing about me. I couldn't fucking believe it. They hired this one girl who was freaking smoking hot. And as soon as she started working there, a couple people come and go, dude, man, you're going to love this new hire. I go, really? I go, yeah, man, she's hot. And when I saw her, I go, holy shit, she is smoking. So obviously, me being a guy I am, I want to talk to her. And she kind of was a little kind of dismissive a little bit. And I can't remember if we ended up sleeping together or not. But she was a little dismissive. And I was kind of like, where'd that come from? I don't even know you. How do you dislike me? And we haven't even met. So I was it made me more curious. Like, what the? And so I ended up talking to her enough. She kind of got to know me and shit. And we were sitting down one day. And she goes, you know, I got briefed when I got hired about you. I go, what? She go, yeah, they call me in. They said, look, just so you know, Rick's going to, you're nice looking and Rick's probably going to try. I was like, you got to be shitting me. He goes, no. She goes, no, they told me. They warned me that you have slept with a lot of women and be aware. And that if If you sleep with him, it's probably going to cause They literally freaking cock-blocked me before I even met the woman. Now, what kind of bullshit is that? I was like shocked. I can't remember if we ended up sleeping or not. I mean, I know we ended up kind of getting along. I don't think we did sleep together. I remember because she was kind of smoking. But it was kind of funny that when she told me that, I was like, you got to be shitting me. I think she ended up getting married or engaged or something a few months later or something. So we never hooked up or we didn't have enough time to develop, but we were friends. But man, I was freaking out. I almost wanted to file a grievance. What the fuck are you doing telling new hires to stay the fuck away from me? Did I do anything wrong or violate policy? Why the fuck are you warning women about me? Not one woman I've dated is complaining. Not one woman I dated, there's fucking issues, except among the women. As soon as another woman found out I slept with another woman, those women would have issues. But whatever. Uncle Rip's pimps. I ain't no damn pimp. I didn't charge and they didn't have to pay. Shit, I usually pay good freaking dinners and shows and whatever. If you don't like liver and onions, you are liver onion phobic. What the hell is that? She can have her cake and eat it too. You know what? On one of my videos, I put in there, and I don't remember which video it is, and I didn't get any freaking funny comments. When did Tatum come on? I live for Rick's debates. We didn't really have a debate. He just kind of came on. He gave me a tip. I said that was very nice of him. A lot of my viewers were saying you were kind of cop, blah, blah, blah. And he came on to defend himself and says, hey, here's what I do. Here's who I am. I'm fighting back against the narrative that all cops are bad. And that was about it. And then he had to go. So it wasn't like we had this good discussion. But anyway, on one of my slides I slid in where women were complaining about gun rights. And there was this really big woman that's holding up a thing like no guns for bullets or something. And I put a comment with a little comment box because she was calling more gun laws or some shit. And in the comment box, I put, maybe if government had more cake laws, you would be skinny. And I didn't get one. Usually I get somebody who's observant and they'll laugh out loud and either mark it or say great quote on that. And I didn't get one to laugh or funny. Maybe nobody found that funny. I thought it was pretty funny, but you know, what do I know? Serious relationship. I'm not looking for a serious, so if you're happy with that. How many medical clearances? I only had one girl that required me to get a medical clearance. That was funny. All her friends knew too and shit. They were like, so, did your clearance come back clean yet? Or are you still in the Virgin Isle or something? I forgot what they were calling me, but they knew I couldn't get it because she had told everybody she wouldn't sleep with me until I had my freaking medical clearance test for AIDS or something. Then when she breaks up with her freaking fiance, she calls me, wants to take me on a cruise, and now she's not worried about a freaking test. Yeah, when she wanted it, she wasn't worried about the test. When I wanted it, I had to go get a test. That was her. Hot lady at work put a heart sticker on me on Valentine's. Later that day, I said, hey, look, I still have the heart on you gave me earlier. That didn't come out right. I still have the heart on. Oh, heart on. I still have the heart on. Oh, shit. You know, if some woman heard that, they were like, he said heart on. And then he's sleeping with. That would have been a freaking disaster. You didn't date. We're complaining. I know. Who was the one girl that was like, she was just a fucking bitch. There was no way I would ever go out with her. She was angry and everything. And she liked me and I didn't want to have anything to do with her. And she was a freaking pain in my ass as soon as she figured out that we weren't going out. Don't be a party pooper, Rick. Women hate women's. My favorite Cat Stevens songs, Trouble. Is that the song I was singing? Cat Stevens? I ain't got nobody. It's just enough. Rick is based, confirmed. Rick's a player. Ain't no player. Come on, Rick. You slept with her. No, I don't think I did. The hot girl that got warned about me, I don't think I did. But again, I think she got in a serious relationship or she started seeing this guy before and he moved. He hadn't moved in. Or there was something that held me up. But a little more time, I think it would have been paid her. At work, people assume, oh, I know. That's the other thing. I couldn't talk to a woman without rumors. Hey, man, are you sleeping with so-and-so? I've heard it from 2 different people. I'm like, how the fuck is that any of your business? Yo, man, we don't want office politics. You know, you've been around. We've had problems before with after you sleep with women. I go, you ain't had no problems for me. He goes, yeah, but we've had problems with the women. And I'm like, why is that my motherfucking problem? Rick the swinging dick. Rick slept with her own principal. You know what? I think in one of our conversations, I said, hey, let's just tell everybody, since they warned you about you, let's just start a rumor that we're sleeping together. Will you mind? And she was like, no. I was like, damn. Oh, shit. These fucking people, I swear, it was such a freaking hassle. It's like, go mind your own damn business. Sexual harassment policy. You know, sexual harassment probably does prevent me from sleeping with somebody. I mean, you know, if a woman complains that I'm sexually aggressive or trying to go out, but I'm not that way, that would be different. I mean, there was one guy in the military. I don't know how he got away with it. I mean, he made me nervous. He couldn't walk by a woman without putting his hands on the shoulders. How are you doing today? Oh, does this feel good? And I was offended. He wasn't even doing it to me. And I was like, dude, how can you just be grabbing these women that you don't even know? He goes, oh, I know her. She knows me. And I can tell by looking at her face that she's like, you know, he's throwing things. She goes, fine. And you can just tell she ain't happy about it. He didn't have a clue. He just thought he was the coolest thing. And he got to rub on these women and their shoulders. And I mean, now granted, that was before probably all this sexual harassment shit became popular. But he used to make me nervous. And then my other buddy that I replaced on auto theft, what was his name? Johnny Haynes. He was probably 65 at that time. He was a horse guy too, but he retired. But he was buck wild, man. I mean, he's the one that ran the car. A guy was hiding behind the dumpster. And he's like, I got him. He's behind the dumpster. I'll pin him. And he runs his car into the dumpster and smashes the dude in the brick wall. And the guy we were chasing, he stole a car. We were chasing him and he lost us. And Johnny found him. So he smashes this dumpster against him. And the guy's, ow, ow. He screams, I got him. I'll wait for you guys. And I was just like, Johnny, you were buck fucking wild, dude. I know somebody's going to be like, man, you can't. He's a fucking thief. He's stealing a fucking car. If he stole your car, you wouldn't have a problem with it. But anyway, I digress. He didn't even have to go to the doctor. He just kind of smashed the thing into him and held him. But anyway, he was he was a nudist. He tried to get me to go to this nudist camp. Him and his wife would go to these nudist camps. He goes, dude, you need to come out there. There's a lot of women, blah, blah. I was like, dude, I can't be running around nudist club. I'd have a Woody on all the time, freaking poking out. And he goes, no, he goes away. After a while, he goes, you won't do that. He goes, you may do that the first couple times. I'm like, man, I can't be walking around naked with a Woody on around a bunch of strangers. He goes, man, you'll love it. It's great. We sit around and nobody cares. We play cards and all that shit. I mean, he was almost getting me there, but I just couldn't do it. But he was freaking buck wild with one. He was a masseuse. And I mean, when he walked by a woman, he would like be circling their arm and rubbing their back and going down their spine, and you need a massage. And I'm just like, but again, because he was like 65 at the time, most women wrote him off as, that's Johnny. It's all innocent. You know, he's got a wife. He doesn't care. He's just a crazy nice guy. Nobody ever complained about it. Everybody loved him. He was a good dude. Anyway, 8 ball in the corner. Cat Stevens, another Saturday night. That's probably what it was. Thank you, Karen. Where's the Tatum video? I just uploaded it. I've been doing them all night. How long have I been on your show? About hour 45. I got to get out of here too. Tatum video, anyone? It's not on playlist. Yeah, I have not put it up yet. I got to make it public. I haven't typed in. I posted 3 videos today, and I made 4 videos. So I haven't updated his and typed in the title and set up the freaking thumbnail and the tags and the description and all that shit. So I have to do that. So it'll probably be either tomorrow or Monday. But I think you'll like it. I think it's like an hour and 17 minutes. And I really think you'll learn something and the differences between me and him. And again, I don't think I was mean to him, and I don't think I was disrespectful. You guys may see it different. That's okay. I mean, if I got a bunch of people that said, man, you were a dick, and then I've never seen you be such. Then I'd probably take it down, but I don't think anybody's going to say that. Let's see. Oops, it's hard on a fella when he don't know his way around. If I don't find me a honey to help me spend my money, I'm gonna have to blow this town. Oh, another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. I got some money because there it goes. She finally kicked in with some words to where it came back to me. Hey, I just got $5. Thank you. Haven't been able to watch in a while. Keep doing what you want. Thanks, Mitch. I thought somebody else threw money up here, and it flew by. It was like orange or something. There it is. Who is this? Lane Paul, $14.99A, whatever the hell that is. How do you pull mad dogs away from taking too many red pill? TBH, I don't know what that means. To be horny? I don't know what that means. TBH mean mate is a no German, always talking about mixing races. Do I just drop him a note or keep pouring? What the fuck, Luke, are you talking about, dude? I got no clue what you're talking about, dude. Sorry. Let's see. Did you ever want to get married? I was married for 9 years. Did I ever want to get remarried? Not really. I mean, there was a couple girls that I probably would have if we'd have stuck together for that long. I mean, I wasn't like, I'll never get married again. But I'm not like, man, I sure wish I had a wife. I like having a girlfriend. I don't know about having a wife. Sexual harassment just means you don't meet her standard. That's a woman's way of saying no. Sexual harassment is a woman's way of saying no thanks. But there are some guys that don't take a hint, and I've seen them. I'm like, dude, I don't think you want to get back with her. I mean that, and I've gone to stalking calls as a cop, doing that shit, and the dude's like leaving roses, leaving notes, leaving cars, stopping by, and she's like, I want him to stop. I don't want a restraining order, but I just want to stop. Can you warn him? Can you do that? I'd be like, dude, she doesn't want you. Oh man, she does. We're just going through a hard time. It's all cool, man. She'll come around. I'm like, dude, she called the cops on you. I think she's kind of serious. I think you ought to believe her. No, man, you don't know her like I do. It's all cool. I go, dude, she puts a restraining order on. All kind of different things happen. You're going to get stalking. I said, it's not a good deal. You really need to give this girl some space. If you really think she wants you, then back away for 6 months and try again. But she wants you to stop. Oh man, it's cool. She'll come around. Don't worry about it, man. It's cool. She won't call you again. I mean, there's just some guys that don't get it. There's a girl I know now. This is a crazy story. I literally call this girl when I'm referring to her to my buddy as Walking Dead, because I think she's going to be fucking dead. She's dating this guy she's broke up with at least 10 times. Says he hits her and hurts her. When she's not seeing him, he has a key. He comes into her house. She finds her in his bed when she gets home sometime. She tells him to leave. They just go back and forth. 1 week she hates him. She never wants to see him again. And 2 weeks later, they're back together. And I'm like, she needs to get a fucking restraining order. Why don't she just get a restraining order? If she's serious, then she says she's stalking him. She's scared of him. I don't remember if she got a gun or started carrying a gun. I know when I went to my buddy's house and we were freaking drinking, as soon as she showed up, I left my gun in my car because I was at my buddy's house, so I didn't bring my gun in. It was in the car right outside the back gate. As soon as she showed up, I went to my car and got my gun. I'm like, I'm not going to be here when this guy shows up without a fucking gun. I mean, it's a really dangerous, and I don't think she's innocent, and I think she's leading him on, and I don't think she's clear, but I don't think she knows what danger she's in. But who knows? Each his own. You can only tell somebody so much. Under the inner office, the police department where Rick read a picture of Rick under inner office relationships. I had one attorney call me and go, look, dude, I want to hire this intern, but I want her to work here, and I don't want you fucking her, and I don't want you messing up my program. Stay away from her. I know you're going to like her, and I know you're going to go after her. She's at college. Leave her alone. I'm like, dude, You know me. It's cool. What does she look like? He's like, dude, stay away from her. I don't want. He was my buddy. He knew that I was a kind of a horn dog, but he was. He just made me more intrigued. Now I was like, oh man, I gotta see her. If you're trying to keep me away from her, she must be freaking smoking. What? All right. Let's see here. 1:55. 5 minutes. Thanks for answering. I apologize for asking so many. I don't even know what I talked about. I don't remember the question I asked, dude. Did you ask a question? I answered it. Your dedication and hard work make all you guys real good. Thanks. I appreciate that. I hope people wake up. This case on this shooting is a huge. This is to me on equivalent almost to Waco. The cops were so wrong and so outrageous and killed a guy's wife, Randy Weaver, who just died, I think. Killed his wife. I mean, think about it. This guy moves out to the country to get away from government because he thinks they're too much in his business. Government follow him, spies on him, kills his wife, shoots his son, kills his dog, and then tries to charge him. Waco was a huge failure of government. It didn't get near the freaking hate for government that it should have. This case is on par with Waco. I mean, they didn't just kill a guy's family and shoot. I mean, they shot his kid when his wife was holding it, killed his kid. Randy Weaver, Waco. Most people know about it. If you don't, you really need to look up. But this case, 18 or 19 kids died because 18 cops waited in a hallway for backup, for officer safety. Are you freaking kidding me? They held parents down, tased, pepper sprayed, and handcuffed parents. It's not like it was a crime scene and the parents showed up afterwards and there was dead bodies and the scene was secure and we couldn't have them run around and we wanted to protect them from seeing their child. That's not what they did. They did this while the kids were in there with a shooter getting killed before they got killed. There could have been parents out there that was there fighting with the cops when their kid was killed. This case is so overwhelmingly an example of our tyrannical, unaccountable government. And they're going to turn this into, it's the gun's fault. We need more restrictions, more backgrounds, more this, more that, outlaw man. They're going to focus everything other than this colossal failure that cost all these kids their lives. This is a huge, huge case. And I've spent a lot of time on it, and it's kind of depressing. And I mean, literally, I have spent hours and hours on this. My playlist, I think, has 7 or 8 videos. But I'm telling you, this is a really huge case that should have national attention, and every talk show host should be covering this. And the fact that Dan Bongino is saying the cops were cowards is a good thing. I hope this case sparks a fire under the American people that freaking cops get nervous and cops get scared because they know they went too far. But you know what? We'll see what. Oh, am I talking Ruby Ridge? Oh, not Waco. You're right. It is Ruby Ridge. Damn it. Randy Weaver at Ruby Ridge. Waco was freaking the Branch Davidian where the was it ATF that went in? I think it was ATF that went in and got their ass whipped and they were shooting them off the freaking roof. Yeah. Ruby Ridge. I'm sorry. Thank you, Paulie. I said the wrong freaking thing. People are looking up Waco. They're like, man, I don't remember. Randy Weaver at Ruby Ridge. Sorry. Thanks for correcting me there. Uvalde is more of a Waco than a Ruby Ridge. I don't know about that. Waco, they went in because they had kids that they thought were being brainwashed and molested by this cult leader, even though that was a ruse because they didn't like him because they knew they were getting guns and they were being able to defend themselves against government. And government gets nervous when they think that people don't have to listen to them. And they knew that they were putting up walls. They had large sums of ammo and they were going to be able to hold off government. And they didn't like it. So they used this for the children, public safety, national security, the same thing government always uses. And they went in there and they end up burning down the freaking place, killing all those kids. So government literally killed the kids there, going after what they said was to protect the kids. In this case, they stood outside and held parents from helping their kids while someone else killed the kids. I mean, it is just this should outrage. That's why when I see these cops defending this, I'm just like, dude, you do not see the big picture. You are so myopic on your blue line, and you're so much urged to protect the blue line that you don't see the decay of our Constitution, our freedoms, the overreach of government, the tyrannical government, the unaccountability, the government lying about what happened, covering their tracks, getting kids killed, wanting more money, having all these cops there and resources, and saying we still couldn't do it. We needed backup. Your parents can't go in and get you. Your kids are no longer your kids because the government said, you know what? We're not going to let you get your kids because we want to make them stay in there with somebody that's going to kill them, and we'll go in when we're ready, but you can't go in. Just the magnitude of the freaking shit in this case. It's kind of upsetting that more people aren't as excited as me. Because, I mean, I am livid about this. I mean, you can tell in my videos when I'm going off, this shit hits home to me. And this is a huge wake-up session and is such a critical point in our country because our country is going downhill so fast. Things like this will sometimes spark people into reality and go, you know what? We better wake the fuck up and do something. And I doubt if it's going to happen, but this is a big case. But we'll see how it goes. All right. 2 hours and 1 minute. I got to get the hell out of here. Everybody say goodbye. I know Ricky Ticky Talkie. What? Ricky Ticky Talkie. My blood is boiling. Man, I'm telling the entire case should shake them. I know. I mean, this should just, and not only just American citizens, even the police force. If I was working as a cop right now, I would be embarrassed and say, you guys are pussies. Not very many people do that are working. You guys made all cops look bad. And I normally don't say people make all cops or all women or all men or all black people. A few people don't make that for everybody. When it's routine and it happens all the time, then you earn that. But this case, dude, every cop worth his salt ought to be saying, I don't support it. It was fucking wrong. I wouldn't have did it. They got some major fucking issues. I don't know how they look at themselves in the mirror. I mean, every cop worth his salt should be saying that. And if they're not, man, I got to think they're on team pussy because there's just no way a meat eater is going to justify not saving kids when you got fucking 18 people that are armed outside a door and you let kids get slaughtered. You're not going to convince what I think is a real meat eater man. You're not going to convince him that there was any excuse for that. None. They were ordered and they couldn't follow. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you going to do if I disobey an order? Write me up? Fire me? Let's see. I might get fired or I can let these kids get killed. I'll let the kids get killed. I might get a letter of reprimand or I'll let these kids get killed. I'll let the kids get. I could disobey an order and say this is fucking wrong and stand up, or I can let these kids get killed. I'll let the kids get killed. But Rick, they're not cowards. They're really good. And it was a misunderstanding. And there was a bunch of agencies and there was miscommunication and perimeters. And there was a really chaotic scene. It's not that easy. And you don't understand. Shut up with all that stupid shit. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. Good night. They're on team what? Pension paradise. I'm still where I'll say the officers were pussies. And I agree. Oh, you're still working? You're a cop? Good for you, John. I mean, to me, it's not like... So John's saying he's still a cop right now, okay? And he's saying that they were pussies. To me, it's not like John's a traitor. He can't be trusted. He has no credibility now. How dare he talk about the code blue? I don't think that at all. I don't hate cops that talk about cops. If they're right, if there's just some cop trashing them. There was a black cop in Oakland, was it Oakland or Stockton? I can't remember. When he was off duty, he would go in to Richmond or Oakland and act like I'm a black person suspicious. He wouldn't listen to the cops. He'd be like, what? I don't understand. He was a cop, so he was carrying a gun. He wouldn't tell him he was a cop, and he wouldn't tell him he had a gun, and he had people videotaping him, and he was totally setting up the cops. He would act nice and calm, but he would do things that he knows cops would be like, dude, you're acting hinky. What's that fucking bulge? Do you have a fucking gun? What's going on? Why are you acting so? And he would set cops up And then once cop went hands-on because he's acting fucking weird and would arrest him, he would identify himself as a cop, and they would videotape and they release the video and say, see, the cops are being mean to black people. That was bullshit. I thought he was a piece of shit. I don't necessarily think he broke the code blue, whatever. He was just a piece of shit, and he was setting up cops to make them look bad. Cops do a fine job of making themselves look bad. But anyway, John's a cop. He thinks they're pussies. I agree with him, and I don't think John's a bad guy. I don't think he's a good guy because he doesn't. I don't think John's somehow whole identity is connected now because he said this one thing. He's just speaking the truth on what he feels. And I'm telling you, any good cop is going to denounce this fucking action that they did. In my opinion. All right. A whole bunch of pussies. Can you advise me how to deal with a lot lizard? Bargain, bargain, bargain. Test, test, test. Wrap, wrap, wrap. Take a shower afterwards. That's my only advice for lot lizards. Okay. John, you're one of All righty. Good night. Moral decay of order follows. Yeah, I agree. There are protesters outside the NRA with signs, stop killing our kids. Really? Really? They're not protesting the cops? Now I don't like the NRA. I think they're fucking piece of shit, money fucking robbing pieces of shit. But, you know, they're not out there killing kids for no damn reason. They should have stormed the school. I agree. I agree. I'm going to go buy a new gun. Go guns. Yeah, truth lover. Every time you buy a gun, an angel gets his wings. Ding, 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 ding. I couldn't believe DPS saying they could have been. I know. I couldn't either. It was, I mean, I'm serious, man. To listen to these cops try to explain. And to be honest, when Tatum was saying some of his shit, I was kind of like, dude, really? I said, I got to call bullshit. I don't agree with that. But anyway, good for good cops, bad for bad cops. Exactly. With anything, not just cops. I judge people by their behavior. I judge people whether they do right or wrong, whether they're evil or nice. Do they try to bring good or do they try to take advantage? I mean, it's pretty, I'm not a complicated guy, I don't think. Maybe somebody will think I am, but I don't think I'm a complicated guy. I'm a pretty simple guy. Like horses, like guns, like women. I'm a pretty much American guy. But you know what? It is what it is. And cops are not special. They're not wonderful. There's not this great hiring. There's not, they're all perfect. Neither, I'm going to piss off some Marines here. All you Marines are not fucking great guys, great patriotic, great shots, great marksmen, great tacticians. It's just not true. There's good Marines and bad Marines. There's good Army, bad Army. Most Air Force is pretty good. But I'm being funny because of the Air Force. Relax. Freaking people cracking on my Air Force all the time. Rick got rug burns. What? Men stop eating soy products. Peace out. Bye-bye, gun people. All right, I got to go. Quick, get me on freaking different topics. I'm out of here. All right, y'all have a good one. Good night.